Drama, betrayal, and courtroom chaos. Things just got out of control in Huntsville. Arrion Curry is officially being called out after a shocking courthouse drama involving none other than Martell Holt and melodyshari. The streets of Huntsville are buzzing, the fans are talking, and everyone wants to know what really went down inside that courthouse. Tonight, we're diving deep into the explosive details, the fan reactions, and what this means for the future of love and marriage. Huntsville. Welcome back, everyone. If you thought the story of Martell, Melody, and Aryen was over, think again. At this point, it feels like the drama writes itself. But this latest courthouse showdown has left even longtime fans stunned. Imagine walking into court expecting just another custody hearing, and then Boomerang's name is suddenly dragged into the mix. That's exactly what happened, and the ripple effect has been massive. Let's rewind for just a second. Martell Holt has been in and out of court ever since his messy divorce from Melody. Custody battles, child support drama, and endless disputes have kept them both in the headlines. But while Melody has always fought to keep her children safe and her peace intact, Martell has consistently found ways to stir the pot. And in the background, there's always been one name floating: Arrion Curry. Now, Aryen has always been a controversial figure in this saga. She's been called the other woman, the side chick, the source of Melody's heartbreak, and the reason Martell's family crumbled. Aryen herself has gone live on Instagram countless times, defending herself, shading Melody, and at times even exposing Martell. But the big difference now is that her name is no longer staying in the shadows. It's coming up inside the courthouse, according to insiders. During a heated custody hearing between Melody and Martell, lawyers brought up Martell's ongoing entanglement with Aryen. They raised questions about whether his lifestyle, his judgment, and his choices with Aryen make him a stable parent figure. This was like gasoline on fire, because not only did it catch Martell off guard, it dragged Aryen into a legal setting she wasn't expecting. Reports say Melody's legal team made it clear, if Martell wants custody, then the court needs to consider the kind of environment his children are exposed to. And since Aryen has been at the center of Martell's personal drama, she became part of that discussion. Allegedly, text messages, timelines, and even old receipts were reference painting. A very messy picture. So what happened next? Well, apparently, Martell snapped. He accused Melody of using Aryen's name just to embarrass him, but Melody clapped back and reminded him that his own actions put her there. Witnesses say the tension in the room was so thick, even the judge had to pause proceedings to calm things down. That's how wild it got. Outside the courtroom, word spread fast. Social media lit up with hashtags like hashtag ARRI unexposed, hashtag Team Melody, and hashtag Martell drama. Fans dragged Aryen, saying this is what happens when you play side chick games, you end up being courtroom evidence. Some said this was the universe holding her accountable. Others felt she was being unfairly dragged into something she technically wasn't a party to. And of course, Aryen herself couldn't stay quiet. On Instagram Live later that night, she threw shade, saying people love to use her name for a storyline, and that Melody should focus on her kids instead of worrying about her. But that only made fans angrier. Comments flooded in, calling her delusional, petty, and incapable of owning her role in this mess. But here's where it gets even. Juicy Martell was reportedly furious with Aryen too. He felt she didn't defend him strongly enough online, and that her public comments just made him look worse in front of the court. Some insiders even claim Martell and Aryen had a nasty fight after the hearing, with Martell blaming her for being a distraction and fueling Melody's case. Meanwhile, Melody walked out of that courthouse looking unbothered. Fans praised her for keeping calm, collected, and strategic. She let the facts speak for themselves, and in doing so, she allowed Aryen and Martell's chaos to work against them. The fallout from this is huge. For Melody, it strengthens her image as the parent, focused on stability and safety. For Martell, it's another public hit to his credibility as a father. And for Aryen, it's proof that whether she wants to be or not, she's permanently tied to this saga, and the fans aren't letting her forget it. So what happens next? Will carlosking use this courthouse drama to finally bring Aryen onto love and marriage? Huntsville officially. Will Martell ever admit his decisions with Aryen cost him everything? And will Melody keep winning in both court and in life, while staying one step ahead? And guess who else had something to say? Destiny. Peyton allegedly went live that night, being shady without naming names, hinting that people keep acting surprised when karma comes knocking. Stormi dropped a subtle Instagram story with the caption, "Protect your peace." Latishascott, who usually minds her own business, even liked a comment that read, "Mel always wins in the end." Fans screenshotted it instantly, but the real shock came when carlosking himself commented during an IG Live Q&A. Someone asked him about the courthouse drama, and Carlos just smirked, saying, "Well, when people's names come up in court, sometimes it's just reality, and reality is my business." That one comment sent fans into a frenzy. Was Carlos hinting that he might finally bring Aryen on camera? Or was he throwing shade at Martell for thinking he could control the narrative? Meanwhile, Aryen, never one to stay quiet, jumped online herself. She said people always use her name to stay relevant and that she's tired of being blamed for Martell and Melody's problems. But fans weren't buying it. The comments section was brutal, filled with people telling her she was reaping what she sowed. One fan even wrote, "Sweetheart, you weren't called out for no reason. The truth finally caught up with you." And Martell. Sources claim he left that courthouse furious, not just at Melody but at Aryen too. He allegedly told her she made him look bad by talking online, and insiders say the two got into a screaming match later that night. That's the thing about Martell, he loves the drama until it comes back to bite him. Now here's where it gets even more interesting, the ripple effect. Some cast members are reportedly worried this courthouse mess could affect the entire show. If Aryen becomes part of the storyline officially, Melody might refuse to film with her. If Martell keeps spiraling, his spot on the show could be in danger. And if Carlos plays his cards right, ratings could skyrocket, but at what cost? Fans are already divided. Some say they'd love to see Aryen on the show, facing Melody directly. Others say absolutely not, she shouldn't get rewarded with a platform after breaking up a family. Either way, the drama is bigger than ever, and the fans are eating it up at the end of the day. Melody walked out of that courthouse like a quincum, poised and victorious. Martell left humiliated. Aryen's name is now officially linked to courtroom drama. And Huntsville. Well, Huntsville is buzzing louder than ever. One thing's for sure, the drama is far from over. What do you think? Did Melody do the right thing by bringing up Aryen in court, or did it cross the line? Should Aryen be held accountable for her role in this mess, or is Martell the only one to blame? Drop your thoughts below. I'll be watching the comments closely. Don't forget to like this video if you think Melody is handling this with pure class. Subscribe for all the latest Huntsville tea and behind-the-scenes updates. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss when the next bombshell drops. Because trust me, in Huntsville, the tea never stops flowing.